Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo and Jordy with Backdoor Fantasy Sports, and this is our daily show. We are going to be talking about the NBA slate on Prize Picks for February 9th, Friday, Flex Friday. The Flex window is open. The protected plays are open at this point. We've got a full six-pick slip for you today. You can mix and match it. You don't have to put it all on one slip, but we do have six plays for you. We have a six-game slate as well, so relatively small slate. But it should be nice getting into just a few games. We have a few matchups we like, and some that were I don't know. There's not anything too crazy going on today, but the board was a little bit more difficult than normal. But we do have six plays that we're into. So before we get into our plays, if you've never tried Prize Picks, use our promo code at the bottom of the screen, and they'll match your first deposit up to $100. They're just going to double what you put on. So if you deposit the whole 100, you'll get 200 to play with. Just make sure you put that code in and they'll hook you up with that deal. And if you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to be able to jump on these plays before they get bumped or removed. You'll just want notifications on so you can quickly see what we're getting into and decide whether or not you want to take these plays. And if you guys don't mind doing us a favor and liking the video, it's the best way to support the channel. It just helps us out so much more than you guys could ever know. You've seen the way the channel's grown in a short period of time, and that's all thanks to you guys because the likes just put us in front of a larger audience. So you get it by now. We appreciate you guys doing that for us. All right, so these are the plays we're going to be covering. I'm going to be taking Jamal Murray over 11.5 rebounds and assists. I'm going to be going under on Giannis Antetokounmpo's fantasy score again, and I like Harrison Barnes to go over 2.5 rebounds. What are you getting into, Jordy?
Yeah, I'm going to be taking Onyeka Okonkwo for over 13 points. I'm taking Jalen Johnson for over 3.5 assists. And I'm taking Sabonis for over 8.5 assists. I have no idea. Domantas, is that how you say his first name?
Domantas, I think so.
Yeah. But I'm taking him for over 8.5 assists. So.
All right. Sounds good. And before we get into our recap, we just want to tell you guys once again about our partner Daily Grind. They have the DFS optimizer. They have multiple tools, but we really love the DFS optimizer. We use the correlation tool stuff. We'll definitely get into some of that for football. But yeah, the optimizer is just a really good tool for basically it's a good starting point when you're looking at the board. Excuse me. It's a good starting point when you're just seeking out plays. It just kind of brings all the value and just puts it right on your radar, right up front. And it's also good to confirm your plays. You can basically match whatever platform you're using, and you can compare it to all the odds makers on different platforms and kind of see what you're working with on the particular platform you're on. So if you guys want to check out their tools, just use code BACKDOOR, and they'll give you 25% off your first month. There's a link in the description of the video if you guys want to check that out, but I highly recommend it. They make really good DFS tools. So, all right. So to get us started, let's talk about this recap. So in the night video, I had taken John Collins over 21.5 points and rebounds, and Jonathan Kuminga over 8.5 rebounds and assists. John Collins ended up cashing for us. He did great. He went for 27. Jonathan Kuminga did not get this done, though. He only went for 6. It was just kind of interesting. He really just didn't do much. He got a decent amount of minutes, but wasn't getting many rebounds or assists, unfortunately. So he didn't cash for us. How'd you do in the night video, Jordy?
Yeah, I went 1-1 as well. I took Draymond Green for over 11.5 points and rebounds. Like I was saying, this was just too low with what he's capable of rebound wise. He could have went over this in rebounds alone, but he had 16, so he hit on this one. And then my letdown was Ben Simmons, surprisingly. I know he's had some bad games, but he's had a good history of going over this 18.5 line, and this got bumped all the way up to 23.5. So it made me feel great about getting it at 18.5, but he ended with 9 PRA. He just didn't have a great game. Him and Jared Allen got in a little scuffle, and his feelings got hurt, I guess, and he just didn't play very well for the rest of the game. So that was unfortunate for Ben Simmons to break that one, but
yeah, man, he shoved Jared Allen pretty hard. That was pretty aggressive.
That's pretty funny with Jared Allen's afro flailing around when he shoved
I was
him
like, dang man, he really shoved him at the ground. But
yeah.
All right, so moving on to the Daily Show. I took D'Angelo Russell, and I believe I took his PRA. He ended up not playing. Unfortunately, he was a DMP, so we didn't get that. And then I also took Giannis Antetokounmpo, like I'm taking today. This was for less than 62 and a half fantasy score, and he got less than half of that. He went for 31.1. So didn't really get a whole lot done. I think this game got out of hand pretty quick, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And he had 3 turnovers. They're still just having trouble adjusting to the new coach out there with Doc Rivers and new system. So I don't think that they've got it figured out yet. But yeah, I ended up going DMP, and then I don't know. It's hard to say if Russell would have cashed or not, but it's unfortunate. I mean, we hit all of our other plays on that slip other than the DMP, but you want to break down yours?
Yeah.
Daily Show.
So I took that LeBron and Michael Porter Jr. threes combined for over 4. I felt pretty good about this one. I know that when these two play each other, it's always a good time because, everyone plays up against LeBron. It's like he's the main stage, right? Like you're gonna get a lot of people watching your game, and it was a primetime game, so I knew it was just a good chance for people to start shooting a bunch of shots. But this was a great game. I had a lot of fun watching this game. Michael Porter Jr. had 4 threes alone, so he would have pushed this, and LeBron cashed it for us. He had 2. So that was a really fun game, though. If you guys watched it, it came right down to the wire, and then the Lakers kind of just let it go at the very end. But it was a really fun game to watch. Jamal Murray is a total stud. But I told you guys I liked Michael Porter Jr.'s PR as well. That hit as well if you would have taken that. So either one of these plays were good. And then Luka Doncic, I took him for over 53.5 PRA. He had a classic Luka Doncic night. He went for 58 PRA. He shot 13 for 24 from the floor and 7 for 14 from 3. So, and he ended with 8 rebounds, 11 assists, 4 steals, and a block. I was like, well, that's a really good performance right there. Like, his fantasy score would have hit too if you guys took that. But yeah, he got the PRA done for us with 58. So I was stoked on those.
All right, well, let's get into these plays. To get us started, I'm going to be talking about this Jamal Murray play, 11.5 rebounds and assists. If we take a look at this over-under, we have an over-under of 232 with the Kings favored by 2.5. So it should be a nice, close game, hopefully. That's a small spread, so we're not really too concerned about a blowout in this one. If we bounce over to Outlier here, he's just really been getting after it these last 3 games. He's been turning things up quite a bit. Still averaging about 35 and a half minutes a game or so, only 1.7 fouls per game. So he's not really getting in foul trouble, nothing to be concerned about there. He's getting his full allotment of minutes. And he's got a really good matchup here. The Kings being 27th in rebounds allowed to point guards and 26th in assists allowed. And again, if we just kind of like take a closer look at these last 3 games, he's gone nuts. His lowest game was 15. So he's got a good matchup, and he's just been on a heater lately. I like him to keep it going here. So I'm going to be taking this for more. If we hop over to Daily Grind, they have this favored to go over just slightly, 50.69% odds to hit the over. They have it at a minus 120. And we've got a little bit of mixed emotions here on the board. FanDuel has it favored to go under. Everyone else is a minus 120 or higher to go over. So feeling good about that play. And moving on to the Giannis Antetokounmpo play versus Charlotte. I know, like, if you're uncomfortable with this, just fade it. Obviously we always say that. But this game has massive blowout potential. 229 over under with the Bucks favored by 14. I still think there's a chance that they don't totally have things figured out here. And Giannis has only gone over this line 3 out of his last 10 games. And so I think even if he comes out hot, like if they get like the blowout to where he's, potentially sitting, that would actually help us. I don't think he's going to hit 60 before that, but that's just the way I feel about it. The matchup is like, okay. If we hop over to PRA real quick, and take a look. They're 12th in points allowed, so a little bit above average in points allowed, but they're third in rebounds allowed. So they're actually pretty tough when it comes to rebounding the ball, allowing rebounds to power forwards. And they are, 20th in assists allowed. So that's his best matchup is assists there. And he did get 7 in his last game, 6 in the game before that. He's capable of getting a lot of assists, but he had 3 turnovers in his last game. Granted, that was the Timberwolves. It's a much stronger defensive matchup there. But I think this line's still just set too high when it comes to just pure fantasy score. Like I said, just 3 out of the last 7, and he's kind of been trending down, and he's coming off of a back-to-back. So if they do get a lead, I think that maybe they'll let him just stay out there and get his confidence back up. Not that it's like way down or anything, but he's still averaging 35 and a half minutes per game and 3.5 fouls per game. So he is capable of getting in foul trouble. That's not like he doesn't get in foul trouble too often, just every now and again. But he's been playing really heavy minutes up until that last game against Minnesota. So I'm going to be taking this to go under because I still think that it's just set a little too high personally. And if he gets a couple turnovers, it's really not going to help his case at all for going over. If we hop over to Daily Grind, let's see, I think they actually have this as a top 3 play on the board. They have this at a 54.4% odds to hit the under. It's just at a minus 119 though on their odds. We've got like different lines on the different odds makers, so I'm not going to get into what the other odds makers are giving about that because they're probably favoring it to go over because they have it some as low as like 57.5. But Prize Picks has it all the way up at 60, so I'm going to be taking the under on this one. And if we move on to my last play, Harrison Barnes, I just like him to be able to go over this rebounds line because it's just so low. If we take a look at this over under, we already covered it, but 232, Kings favored by 2.5. The over under and all that isn't even all that relevant to this particular play. This is just 3 rebounds we need him to get. That's less than 1 per quarter. He's gone over this in 7 out of his last 10 games. And in 6 of those games, he's gone for 4. So we just need him to get 3 tonight. The matchup isn't great. They are 3rd in rebounds allowed, but they're allowing 6.7 per game. This is just one of those situations where he's not super aggressive about it, but he hits this often enough. And it being set at 2.5 is just so low. He's averaging right around 33 minutes per game, only averaging 1 foul per game. So we shouldn't have any reason other than just the coach deciding not to play him as much for him to sit. I don't think he's going to be in foul trouble or anything like that. So the only thing is the matchup's a little bit difficult, but again, just 2.5 is such a low line. So go with your gut. If you don't like this play, fade it. If we hop over to Daily Grind, they have this favored to go over, 53.42% odds to hit the over. They have this all the way up at a minus 134, and we have like a minus 125 and higher across the board. So everyone's kind of assuming he's going to be able to grab at least 3 boards in this game. So while we're doing a full 6-man video, and the board being a little bit tough with only a 6-game slate, I'm definitely going to be taking advantage of a play like this. And if you are interested in checking out this app Outlier that we use, this is the best statistical analysis app in the business by far. They cover matchups, injuries. They give you these insights that are just like things that are being said about these players around the league. And you can fine tune your play and, see what your player does with or without other specific players. They just give you the option to cover everything. And they're giving all of our viewers a 7-day free trial if you just use the link in the description of the video. So if you guys want to check this out, go try it for 7 days, see how you like it. But that's going to do it for my 3 plays. I'm going to pass it over to Jordy.
All right. Yeah, so to get me started on mine here, I'm going to go with this Onyeka Okongwu for over 13 points. I'm so stoked to see this dude finally getting the starting minutes because I'm sure there's a lot of people who are a big fan of like the 2016 Chino Hills run. So it's cool to see Onyeka finally doing it in the big leagues and getting those starting minutes. But Yeah, I'm going to take him for this 13 points here. This line's just pretty low for his starting minutes and the way he's been shooting the ball. He's shooting 80% from the floor right now. He's shooting 9 attempts, making 6.8 of them. That's insane. And he's also shooting 2.2 three-pointer attempts and shooting 77% over these last 5 games where he's been starting. So I feel great. This is a great matchup too. 27th in points allowed when it comes to rank, and they're giving up 20.6. So plenty of room for him to at least hit 13. That's for the push, but we want him to get that 14 and go over, which I think he's perfectly capable of doing. This one on Daily Grind is juiced to go over. It's a 51.52% chance at a minus 124. Some people have this juiced all the way up at like a minus 151, but that's for 12.5 there. But I feel good about this at 13.5 too. So I'm going to be rolling the dice on Onyeka. And then for my next pick, I got this Jalen Johnson. This kind of correlates with that play, but he had like 1 or 2 kind of lob plays to him last time. So for this to be at 3.5 is a steal in my opinion. He's gone over this in 7 out of 10 games, 11 out of 20, and he's gone over it twice in the head-to-heads. But these ones where he didn't hit this, he wasn't getting the starting minutes yet. He only played 11 and 6 minutes in those 2 games. And then as his minutes have gone up, he's hit this more. He played 19 minutes and got it done in 1 game. He missed it in 1 game, but then the last time they played, which was on the 10th of January, he went for 7. So with no Embiid in there, I think this is going to be an easy game for the Hawks to do what they do and run the floor. And Onyeka makes them a lot faster because he's a lot more athletic than Clint Capella. So they're going to run the floor pretty hard on them, I think. So it's going to be a fun game. So if we look at the over-under on this game too real quick, we've got a 246 over-under with a 3.5 point favorite to the Hawks. The Hawks are finally getting some respect here. They've been winning a lot of good games too, so exciting matchup there. So taking Jalen Johnson for over the 3.5 assists. And then my last play is going to be Sabonis for over 8.5 assists. This one, in my opinion, is like a 50-50 shot. If you look at it on Daily Grind here, it's a 52.67% chance. I could agree with that. I like it a little bit more than a 50% chance, so it's right on the money there. They're ranked 10th in assists allowed to centers, only giving up 3.4. Obviously, they don't play Sabonis every game. This dude goes for double-doubles on rebounds and assists all the time. So I like him to get over this 8.5 line. I think that's pretty low. Usually this is set at like 9.5 or so. But the dude plays almost 40 minutes every single game. He's always on the floor. He's super athletic. The reason I like him as like a center getting assists too is he almost runs the point guard sometimes. Like he'll bring the ball up the floor, he'll push it down in the paint, and then he'll kick it out to one of their shooters, and it works really well for them. The head-to-head doesn't look too pretty, but none of these are from very recent games. The most recent one we have is this one from December of last year, and he only went for 7, but the other ones are from quite a while back, so I don't even care about those games. So he's just missed it once in recent time. That's like the only matchup I really care about showing. So he's done this 5 out of 10 games, and he's done it 3 out of 5, but he's done it 11 out of 20, so he's over 50% over the last 20 games. So I feel good about it. If you don't like it, you can fade this one, but I think it's pretty ridiculous. This dude's gone for 8 assists in 1 half before, so he's perfectly capable as long as the Kings come out to a quick start like they usually do. I think this play is good. 232 over under with a 2.5 point favorite to the Kings. Them in Denver, I think this is going to be an awesome fast-paced game. So yeah, those are the 3 I'm going to be rolling with for today.
All right, you guys heard it from the birthday boy. He's going to get a little bit of that birthday magic and get us a sweep today, I hope.
Hopefully.
But yeah, we appreciate you guys being cool about us taking the night off last night. The board was rough, and yeah, it was nice. Maybe that'll be a thing. Take birthdays off or so. We'll see. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for us. These are the 6 we have for you. We hope you have a great weekend. If you're interested in checking out another one of our partners, Chalkboard, they have a really cool platform. If you use code BACKDOOR, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. They have bets as low as $1. And the thing I love about Chalkboard is they give you the freedom to make the lines you want. So you can adjust your lines up or down. And if you go up with your line, they'll increase your multiplier. You get a higher payout. If you lower your line, you just get a lower payout. So they really give you a lot more control than most platforms. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. There's a link in the description of the video. Just make sure you use code BACKDOOR and they'll match your first deposit up to $100. And if you want to check out our Discord, there's a link in the description of the video for that too. It's about 50 cents a day. And it's a really great community. The community itself is the best resource because we've just got so many good people in there, and it's kind of like its own little system at this point. Like everyone works together to our community chat is so active just around the clock. We do esports, we do football, we do NHL. We cover so much. We have 2 extra analysts in there. So if you want to check that out, there's a link in the description of the video. Just make sure once you're in Discord, you go to server subscriptions and subscribe, and it'll unlock all the channels for you. So we hope you guys have a good weekend, and we will catch you in the next video.
Good luck, guys.